Neptune in Aries, and the end of performative desire. Something just shifted in the collective, and it's changing the way that desire works. If sex, dating, and attraction has felt off, this is why. People are not impressed anymore. Not by bodies, not by shock value, not by sexual performance. And if you have felt bored, disillusioned, or even repelled by things that used to excite you, you're not broken. You're just early. Neptune just moved into Aries, and Saturn is meeting it at 00 degrees of Aries, which is, it's called the Aries point, the starting point. It is the birth point of the entire zodiac wheel. Translation: desire just became spiritualized. Aries is Mars energy. It's the first entire sign of the whole entire zodiac wheel. It represents the self. It's action, instinct, libido, pursuit, raw fire. Neptune dissolves illusions. Neptune also exposes truth. So now desire has to mean something, or it collapses. For a long time, sex was used to sell, to dominate, to escape, to numb. Hypersexuality, pornified culture, performative masculinity, performative femininity, and it worked until it didn't. Now it feels empty, hollow, hard to even try. This is not about repression. It's not about purity culture. It's not about sex being bad. It's about integrity. Neptune in Aries asks one question. What are you initiating with your desires? And yes, this especially affects masculine energy. Not men as gender, but the masculine principle. The era of unconscious conquest is over. Desire now has to come from presence, devotion, courage, not compulsion. That's why anything built on secrecy, addiction, exploitation, or ego is unraveling. This is why so many sexual power structures are being exposed right now. Not because we're becoming moral, but because we're becoming sensitive again. People can feel when something is off, even if it is technologically allowed. That's the truth. Here's what actually becomes magnetic in this era: coherence, embodiment, emotional presence, desire that knows why it wants. The sexiest people now are not the loudest. They are the most integrated. So if dating feels strange, if old fantasies don't hit, if you're craving depth instead of dopamine, you're not regressing. You're upgrading. Neptune in Aries isn't ending sexuality. It's asking desire to be brave enough to be real. So much for all those romance scammers. And the people who answer that call become undeniable. Saturn makes desire accountable. And here's the part that people don't want to hear. Saturn is involved, which means desire does not just get spiritualized. It gets regulated. Saturn says you don't get to want something without consequences. Under this energy, unsavory desires don't stay private. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because integrity is the law now. Let's be real. If you're aware that a man is married and you're still projecting your desires onto him, that doesn't stay hidden. Neptune exposes it. And Saturn will hold you accountable. And this goes both ways. If you're the one that's entertaining attention, you know that you shouldn't. If you're feeding fantasy while avoiding responsibility, you don't get to play the innocent act anymore. This is the era where desire comes with receipts. What you want will shape your reputation. Your nervous system, and your karma. So choose carefully. Because Saturn does not judge, it teaches. and it teaches through hard lessons. And the lessons are only hard when when integrity is not leading. If your desires can't stand in the light, it's not meant to be acted on. If this resonates, stay with me. We're entering into a completely different era of intimacy. Bless you.